Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Red Skies over Chult, Cathedral of Worms.
Look at the worms wriggle.
Um, uh, Sorry, I just saw
Isn't it
Jay's.
isn't it freaky?
I'm supposed to have green lights on that you can't see a thing. Um,
British cast.
Last time, there was some stuff that happened. Some things went down, but we ultimately ended with the investigators going to the ziggurats that they had been told to go to. That was on a dagger. It's the plot of the Rise of Skywalker, and you went to the ziggurats, and some terrifying worm monster came worming its way out at you. Daemon and Ash immediately hid, leaving Emissary alone with their giant crossbow battle staff.
I was
But-
kind of hoping that they would also hide.
They're a 7-foot tall metal knoll.
They're 7-foot tall
Fair.
metal knoll in scale mail. They have disadvantage on stealth.
If I could impose double disadvantage, I probably would.
Oh my god!
Chris Perkins has found out a way to do that.
I was reading a different rule set from Dungeons and Dragons, and they have you go down a dice, so you have to buy weird dice because you need a D16. But if you're really bad at something, you go from a D20 to a D16 to a D14 to a D12, and so on. And if you're good at things, alternatively, D20 to D24. Anyway, whoa, lots of. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Marty. Subscribing in chat. Okay, so can I get initiative rolls from everyone, please?
Ooh, natural 20. Plus 2, 22.
Six.
Yep.
Oh dear, that's a 5.
Okay.
Not last.
What's my monsters? Dex.
Hopefully very low.
Hopefully.
Better
I don't know
than,
how much is it wriggling.
better than you think. It's wriggling.
Is there any sort of arcana check or feel for this thing possible before anything starts?
Sure. You can make an Arcana check. I'm not going to be able to tell you a lot about this thing, but I'll be able to tell you something
Sure,
if
sure.
you do well enough.
Just wondering what I'm just wondering what kind of creature. this
That's
is.
definitely what you'll be able to find out.
Yeah, I
Bad.
don't think I did well. I rolled a natural 1 in my.
Okay. Yep. It's bad. This isn't good.
It's bad.
In your professional opinion, it's an Olympic level wriggler, as Marty says in chat.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Type.
Did it metal at wriggling?
It top 5'd. It didn't
Okay,
podium.
that's
It didn't
okay,
podium, but you know.
top 5 still. That's
Yeah.
it's very respectable.
Um.
Certainly better than any of us could do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a shapeshifter. That wriggling's kind of our thing.
Oh yeah.
See if you can
Brag,
out wriggle this thing.
All right, let's do it.
Damon, you know it's bad, and you get to go first.
Because I know it's bad, I have a hunch that I think that what I'm going to do will help. I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on M. So that this creature will have disadvantage on any attacks it has against it, and M will not be able to be possessed while I'm concentrating on this spell. So I'm burning one of my 2 spell slots to protect you. You may not know where the fuck I am and thought I abandoned you, but this little sort of something is going to help you from me. right now. I don't know what else to do at present. I'm hidden and watching, so protecting you.
Okay, not to be that DM, you have to be able to touch emissary to do that.
All right.
So
Well, to be that DM, that's great. So what I will do then is, am I able to move and preserve my stealth?
you would need to make another stealth check, but possibly, yes.
Okay, let me try and do that, because I'll try and just sneak up and do that. And if I walk out and feel like I'm busted, I may do something else.
Yeah. Roll with disadvantage. Sorry.
Great. Oh well.
Because you are not a
Make it worse
rogue.
than a 7. 7 plus 2. Yeah, I rolled 2 7s. So I walk out, immediately bust myself, because I see it like, I don't know, it's wriggling, probably freaks me out or some shit. And I instead am going to, no, I'll still do it. I'll touch emissary, and then I will. How much movement did I use to get to emissary?
15 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna back up 15 feet.
And then run back into the forest.
Okay, perfect.
No, just be out of the way. Just be out of the way, protecting you. But,
No, I appreciate it.
sure, I hope so. Oh no.
Okay, got that up. Okay.
Oh, can I bonus action Hexblade's Curse this thing too?
Sure.
I will do that. Thank you.
What's the range on that? Perfect. Okie doke. Okay. Emissary, you are scale mail, right?
Yes.
So your armor class is higher than an 11?
It's 20.
Okay. So, this thing, oh god, it
Breaks its teeth.
starts moving with alarming speed down the ziggurat, and as it does, one of its little pincery hands makes some intricate gestures, and a ghostly skeletal hand comes at emissary and attempts to harm them, but nothing gets through your impressive scale mail. So,
Would this be Arcana or sorry, I don't think I.
to know what kind
Never
of
mind. I'll wait till my turn.
Okay, emissary, it is your turn.
So, actually, does Daemon have the evocation that just lets him understand languages?
I not the one that to hear. I believe I have the one that allows
You have
me
the one that
to
allows you to read?
everything.
Okay.
I have Eyes of the Ring. I can read all writing, and I have Devil's Sight, so I can see in all darkness.
Okay, in that case, Daemon and Ash are just gonna hear some weird yarling and snapping noises coming from Emissary all of a sudden. And what they're doing is they're asking the creature in Nolish, I don't suppose you're the talking kind, are you?
It responds. Does anyone speak deep?
Let me check. Common, Draconic, Elvish, Goblin, or no deep. Probably should have taken deep, but I don't think that would have been allowed.
I mean, if you gave me a good reason.
I have Dwarvish, but I don't think that's quite deep enough.
No, not not deep enough. No.
Points for trying.
It says something in some awful screechy language that just hurts to listen to. But if anyone has an okay insight score, essentially says what? Like it doesn't understand Noel. But it did talk.
I mean, that's 20. It's a dirty 20, but
Yeah.
that's 20 insight.
Yeah, so kind of shrugs like, what do you want? I'm probably going to eat you. Metal.
Oh, so he can talk. He's just an asshole.
He's a terrifying creature from beyond this plane of existence and beyond the
We did
understanding
also
of
just
mortals.
kind of roll up on his doorstep and have intent to invade his home, so, like...
We didn't enter yet.
Not yet, but, like, you know... We were gonna.
It's like being get off my lawn. You kids.
No
Exactly.
solicitors.
Right.
Yeah, I remember last time I saw a kid on my lawn, I tried to devour their souls and throw undead hands at them.
Hey, where he's from, it's polite.
So, we are still gonna try talking. We're gonna try just a few common phrases in, well, common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and also Gnomish. Do any of those ring, or do I just get more deep speech back?
More deep
Damn
speech.
it.
Yeah. It seems to understand common, but it can only speak deep. Like
Okay.
literally, like its mouth can't form common words.
Okay. Can you write?
And it's got a bunch of little hands.
Yeah, but, like, maybe it never learned. I don't want to be rude and assume.
It doesn't say if it can, so I'm going to say that it can. Usually it specifies if it can't write. I don't think it wants to, though.
Yeah, I don't think they ever intended for whatever this thing is to be
Yes.
reasoned with,
No.
but here I am, doing my goddamn job again.
I mean, it's got a persuasion score.
Really?
Yeah, a pretty good one, too.
Neat.
Persuading people to what? Like, just lie down and die?
Yes. Do it.
No.
Wow.
Like, we expected a ruin, we didn't know there was anyone living in it, and, like... Look, we didn't mean to be mean, but it's just,
It responds aggressively and deep. Like, that's not going to be enough. Like, now it's hungry for your very souls.
Well, it could go poorly for either of us, so... How close is it?
It's 60 feet from you.
Perfect. I want to conjure a flaming sphere at its feet.
Okay. Okie doke. Is that an attack roll or a deck save?
The diplomatic phase has ended.
Initiate combat.
Oh, it needs to be in an unoccupied space, so I'm just going to put it in front of it.
Okay. It needs to be in an unoccupied space, really?
Yeah, but then I can bonus action move it and
Okay.
push it into the creature.
Oh, and a creature that... And there's a bonus action. You can move. Okay. I see. Okie doke.
Oh, it's within 5 feet of the sphere.
Okay, so I'm assuming you ram it into this thing.
Yeah, sure.
That's correct. That's correct. That's not great. 12.
Neat, my save DC is 13, so
Okay.
it's going to take, I think it's 2d6? 2d6. And it is 8 fire damage.
Okie dokie. Where's my pen? Okay. Okay. And Ash.
So, when Ash emerges from their hiding spot, you see for the first time, there's no disguise, just gray, featureless face, white hair down to sort of neck length, and they're holding a viol, as it is called in the DMG, because apparently violins have not been invented yet. No, wait. It's a violin, guys. It's a violin. I forgot we're in the 1920s.
Totally violin.
It's a violin. And they just start shredding. Like, just completely shredding. And first and foremost, I'm going to cast Haste on Daemon Devlin.
Okay.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
And I am going to inspire my good friend M. And this is like full on country fiddle, like just going at it, really getting into it, probably forgetting that there is a giant creature.
So wait, is it shredding or is it country fiddle? Because those are two different things you can do with the violin, and both are good, but they're different.
Huh. Isn't that part of like the country fiddle style though, is my understanding?
It might be. I'm not an expert.
Ready?
I just tend to think of like country music's over here, metal with violin, and it's over here, and they kind of look at each other.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of like
shredding is like really fast playing.
Yeah, like Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah, that's shredding.
That's what I was picturing.
Okay, so I'm just an idiot, which we knew.
No.
So moving on.
No.
You're just more a metal person than like a violin person, I feel.
Fair.
That may be me profiling just a little bit.
Fair.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. That's my problem. What size? What is your inspiration die? What size?
I think at level 6, bards get a D8. I'm gonna check to make sure though.
D8, yep.
Yes, D8.
Perfect. Okay.
And I'm going to, obviously, I'm gonna inspire my good friend. Try to give M a little boost of bravery. I realized I just said give him a little, and then give M a little. It's the same thing. And then also cast Haste on Daemon Devlin.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn. And I'm not coming any closer to the worm, but it's pretty clear that I'm trying to make myself a valid target.
Okay.
Because I'm very much out in the open and, playing that fiddle hot.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't have the indecency to like try to do it with my mouth or something.
Are there any hickory stumps in this jungle?
Too, like using that style. Then you would be
no.
If you're using the Jimmy,
you shred your tongue. Yeah, fine violin strings are how specially constructed. You would absolutely just cut your tongue in half.
You did say shredding.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like smoke coming off the violin.
Daemon.
Oh, I feel a bit tasty now. Okay, well, here we go.
By the way, +2 to AC, advantage on dexterity saving throws, additional action on each of your turn that can include an extra attack. Your speed is doubled.
But you can't use it to cast a second spell. I will say that. You can use the second action to attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object. Everyone's favorite action that no one ever uses.
Right. Right, because it gets hand waved off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is my wings are going to unfurl and I'm going to fly up. I've got 60 feet fly speed now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I did not summon my packed weapon. So what I will do is now summon my packed weapon, which is a Morning Star.
Okay.
And so as an action, and then I'm going to go forward and attack twice with which I'm able to do because I have the Thirsting Blade cantrip. invocation. So
Now, question: can they get with the extra action? Are they allowed to produce their pact weapon?
it's just another action. I can do whatever I want with the action, right? As long as if it's an attack, I think it's only one attack. That's the only stricture I remember from.
Yeah, I
seeing
think
these.
so.
Okay.
I also
so
believe summoning a packed weapon is a bonus action, not a
Oh,
full
really?
action.
I feel like it says. I just looked at it.
It-
What does it say? As
it
an
might be,
action,
it's-
you can
Okay.
create a pack weapon in your hand. Yeah, because I
Okay.
didn't have it yet. So, but
uh,
I've already done the bonus hex warrior thing, so that's going.
yeah. So you can only use your haste action to make one attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
Oh, I see. So I need to use my regular action to summon the
Mhm.
thing.
Oh, shit. Yeah, and then you
then-
can make an attack.
All right, as my attack then, I'm not going to fly up yet. As my attack then, I am going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Which will give me, I think, 2 beams at this level. So I'm going to attack it from a distance.
Okay.
Prior to, oh great. So 18 and 16 on the die. My plus is 6. So 22 and 24, respectively.
Okay, so both hit.
Great. I had made my Hexblade's Curse on him, so I get a bonus to the damage of +3. I did not roll a 19. I'm going to crit if I had. So that is 10 and 18. I did not take the one that spams it up, so it's 18 damage plus 6 is 24 damage force total. And yeah, I will take to the air though, and be above.
Okay.
Swooping distance.
Okay.
And a turn.
The monster will start its turn, and some of its wounds knit back together.
Oh, good.
Right, I forgot to roll my knowledge thing. Can I do
Sure.
that now?
You can make an Arcana check.
Okie dokie. I think I am actually proficient in that.
How about a religion check? Does a religion check count?
14.
Yeah, you can make a religion check. Okay.
14's probably not enough.
14. You're gonna get something, just not a lot. M.
24.
24. Okay. Okay. So 14. This thing's an aberration. That is safe to say. Emissary. Who? 24. Okay.
You know this thing's social security number, emissary.
Yeah.
Its middle name is Norman.
Again, I said it before stream. This is not everyone's first time in the middle of nowhere, away from civilization and a crumbling ruin, speaking to a horrible monstrosity and trying not to die.
Oy, I apologize.
So you think this thing is... I was hoping I wouldn't have to say it. No, okay, that's not too hard. Avolakia. They're terrible aberrations. You know they're immune to cold and poison. And you think acid or lightning might shut down its regeneration.
Neat.
And touching it might poison you.
I'm not that worried about that.
Yeah, acid's not a thing I do, unfortunately.
Okay. So it will charge down the ziggurat again. And it's going to ask Daemon
Oh no.
to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Had to be Constitution, didn't it?
My glass constitution. Actually, I have pretty good. 12.
Okay. take 42
Oh!
necrotic damage
Huh.
Three hit points left.
as it
Two more than you need.
it casts
I'm
blight
gonna-
upon
wait.
you.
Wait, counterspell.
Counterspell?
Oh, I have that too. But thank you.
I'm
What level would you like to cast counterspell at?
the highest level of spell I can cast is 3, so I know I have to roll for
Okay,
this.
so yeah, so roll a. Well, you get jack of all trades. So roll.
I have half proficiency, so
roll
I have
charisma plus half proficiency. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that is 13. I don't think that does it.
13 does not do it.
Is it cheesy for me to then counterspell it? Probably.
I,
I'll just take the damage. I'll take the damage.
Okay, I mean, I probably would have let you do it, but I mean, you're burning the spell slot. Well,
yeah, it takes away my other slot. That's fine.
Yeah.
But life is life. I'll let it go.
Okay.
I have 3 points.
Sorry.
It's good. No, it's
let's
fine.
see.
You cast a spell to try and save me.
I
Thank
think
you.
I missed it by 1. the
You
DC.
did.
I'm the one who didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm the one who didn't do well with our save. With a 10.
Good thing. I mean, the good thing is that's its only action.
Great.
I slowed it down for you guys. I should roll a concentration
Thank
check
you.
for protection from evil and good, but I do have advantage because I have Warcaster. So that's cool.
Okay. So you just have to roll a 21.
Fuck. Didn't work.
Okay.
You mean the D20 doesn't go up to 21?
Damn it. See, in that other alternative dice system, I possibly could have had a D24,
It's like that
right?
that meme of the girl with the flute going, when you're a bard but your entire party is dying.
Okay.
It's not your entire party. It's just 1/3 of your party
It's just
currently.
the warlock.
Just the one who's flying around up there.
We need the warlock though.
Yes, we do.
Emissary, it is your turn.
Okay, so Emissary is just gonna kind of reach in somewhere to them, pull out a little green vial, load it into the crossbow, and shoot at that
Okay,
at our abjuration friend, which is them casting Melf's Acid Arrow.
Ooh, nice.
Which is
We need.
5, 8. I'm using my alchemist tools, so that gives me an extra plus 2, 22 hit.
That is a hit.
Okay. And check and see if I also add that to. Nope. Come on, roll the spell. So I think that does do damage too. So, how much does that do? Which
Apparently, acid arrow lingers. It's an efficient spell.
It does.
is good because that is my second level spell slot for the day. 4d4.
Yeah, it'd be sucked if you just used your highest level spell slot and it just didn't work. I hate it when that happens.
So that is 10 acid damage.
Okay. It doesn't seem to like that very much.
Does that shut down its regen?
It
point to
does.
your- Nice.
And can you roll 2d4 again for me so I can do that on its turn?
Is 7.
7. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's floating over its head. Is there anything else you would like to do, Emissary?
Bonus action, roll the rolling sphere towards it again.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That can only move 30 feet, though, so I don't know what its move speed is.
It's Its move speed is 30, so you can crash into it again.
Perfect.
Did it run through the fire before when it came down?
It did, but I think Flaming Sphere only cares if you end your turn near it. Doesn't, or no, maybe if you run through it. Hold on. Now, yes, I meant Flaming Sphere. D&D Beyond. It's never been easier. Let's see.
Debatable.
Yeah, any creature that ends its turn. Let's see. So it ran away from it before. It moved around it in enough of a way that it didn't take damage, but it's going to take damage right now. And as a bonus, this creature. Okay, it makes a saving throw again. Let's see. Okay, I think it will succeed. It gets an 18.
Yes, that is a success.
But still takes half damage.
Four.
Okay. Is that halved or?
That is halved.
Okay, thank you.
I rolled 8 total. That's a good idea, Marty, but I'm pretty sure the Ziggurat's made out of stone.
Yeah, Ziggurat's made of rock.
Wait, the acid arrow, is that a save spell or a hit spell?
Hit spell attack.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Although, I did say it was covered in a bunch of vines and stuff. Overgrown jungle. So that stuff's on fire.
That's
Neat.
cool.
So, but this is basically, we're cleaning the ziggurat for
Yeah.
them. You should be thankful.
It'll be easier to walk up when you guys are done.
Exactly.
Ash.
Just say, look, what's the trouble? We're just smoking a ziggurat.
Two drums and a cymbal fall off a cliff.
I thought that was hilarious, personally.
Thank you very much.
And just for that, you
I'll
get
be
a
here all night
second.
until I die.
Just for that, you get a
point.
second level healing word.
Oh my god, thank you.
That's
You did
10
say
points of
bum, not
healing.
burn.
That's
Thanks,
wonderful.
Font. Thought that was an RN, not an M.
10 points of healing for you.
Thank you very much.
And then I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery, Giant Worm.
Okay.
What are you going to say to it?
Hey, Mr. Worm, I got a song for you. Fuck you.
Wow.
It understands common.
Wow. What kind of save is it?
That is probably its highest possible save. It's a wisdom save.
It is, but I rolled a 2, so it's not going to succeed on its save.
Not only is it deeply, deeply offended by my harsh words,
Wow.
it also has disadvantage on its next melee attack, I think. Or next attack roll? 1 second. Vicious Mockery. Is it melee attack or attack roll? I don't remember.
I think it's its next attack roll.
Yeah, next attack roll. So
Yep.
that includes spell attacks, because attack rolls are required for spell attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Okay, and sorry, how much damage did it do?
Only 4.
Okay, and you rolled 2d4?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I got 2 2s.
Hey, that's perfectly average. Okay. No, Vicious Mockery is great because of the disadvantage part. And it's psychic damage, which is hard to avoid.
I was actually
Rarely
worried that
resistant.
this thing in particular would be able to resist it. I'm not going to lie.
No, doesn't not this one.
Oh, good.
Well, just that's the Star Chasers. Apparently, all they fight are robots now.
Well, look, me and this
definitely
thing are in a
robot.
battle of wits, and apparently I'm winning.
So you
That was a
healed.
bonus mockery.
You healed and mocked. Perfect. Daemon.
Well, feel a little better. That's good. I'm going to swoop in with my Morning Star. Got to attack it. 3 times because I can.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You get the
So
hex
3
bonus on
damage.
all of them.
Ooh.
I think that's how that works, right?
The damage ones, yeah, and the 19 or 20 crit hit, yeah. 2 3s and a 16. So I'm gonna guess the 3s miss and the 16 probably hits because it's a +5, no +6.
Does haste give you a bonus to hit? I don't
I
remember.
don't think it does.
Oh, whatever.
No, just on the AC, which I'll need because I'm gonna fly away from him and try and provoke. Get rid of his reaction as well, and maybe die. But we'll see what happens. Let me roll the damage first. That's a 1d8 plus bonus 3 plus 3. So 12 points of force, and I'm going to fly away.
Okay. Before you fly away, you take
My AC
nine
is
9 poison damage from hitting him.
With a weapon?
I touched with my weapon?
With a melee attack,
That's
yep.
terrible. Okay.
I don't like this thing.
It splashes this gross slime at you. It's covered in a slick slime.
Squishy. It's like,
yeah.
Right. Reach might have helped, but
apparently it's a basic slime.
Basic slime.
Well, because acid it neutralizes.
Base as in basic, right?
Yeah, it's got basicity. Its pH is greater than
basic
7.
slime.
Literally.
It's got the pumpkin spice latte, the Ugg boots, just like
right.
It's got a floppy hat and a scarf.
This mockery just keeps coming from the peanut gallery.
Just picturing Uzi, but like with a pair of Uggs floating on the inside.
I swoop away, and my AC is currently 20. I'm
with
hit.
Disadvantage.
Say goodbye today.
With disadvantage because of my vicious mockery.
Thank you for your vicious mockery. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much.
Fiddle intensifies.
You're saving me, Ash. That's good. First the healing, and the haste, and the vicious mockery. MVP.
Ash is way too in the zone right now to even respond.
Shit. That's part of why you're such a genius. Yes, I sure do. I'm gonna just go straight up. Get the fuck out of that. 60 feet away from him. Because I can ping him with a 120-foot range from there, no problem.
Also, can't you technically turn your pack weapon into a bow?
Oh, I could do that too, yeah. I can.
If you wanted to.
I think I can. Yes.
And still get your bonuses and also the extra attack.
Something like that. It would take not without a cost. I think I have to do something, like use an action or something. I have to look at that. I remember.
It does take an action, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, he's gonna try and kill me again. So.
I would like to use a reaction and push it 15 feet away.
Cutting or...
That is the Artificer's Infusion onto my shield. While holding this shield, the wielder can use a reaction immediately after being hit by a melee attack to expend one of the charges, push the attacker up to 15 feet away.
Through the fireball.
Yeah, I think it still hits me.
It's hard. Ugh.
Oh, also, doesn't it take acid damage? On the ball today. I don't know why.
You're doing
We
well.
appreciate
It's
it.
that chili.
I think it is the chili.
It's the
It was
pregame
really good.
chili. It's made with inspiration.
I'm going to do all my homework after this session.
Exactly.
This thing can move about 30 feet. About as fast as I can move, but it's also 15 feet back. So I'm going to take 30 feet steps back and then shoot at it with the crossbow.
We're using like Elder Scrolls strategies.
And I'm going to miss terribly because I rolled a 3. So that's
You
a total of 8.
I guess, will inspiration help? Because you do have it.
It's a D8, right, at this level? Yeah.
Maybe save it.
I'm going to hold on to that.
Yeah, save it for when you start casting spells.
Oh, absolutely.
Just keep torching it.
Yeah, pretty much until it goes away.
For the acid arrow?
Yeah, they already failed to save for the acid arrow.
How long does that last? Like a minute? Until you save? Oh, 1 round? It's a classic. Classic spell.
4 damage.
What's the nature of this spell? So squishy, slimy, bloody, tentacly.
Easy breezy cover girl. Cover worm.
Maybe he's
Twitch
born with
chat
it.
cannot hear you, Andy. I think your microphone may have switched because it does sound like you had a drop in quality.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Hold on a second. Oh. There we go. How's that, chat? My microphone got unplugged, it looked like. I just probably pulled on the cable a little bit. Let's see. Hopefully. Thank you for noticing, Jay. Oh. What is O? Is that,
What does O mean?
what does
Sue?
O mean, Sue? Now we
Okay,
can
now they
okay.
can hear you. Okay.
And does that sound better to you all as well? Like it went back to?
No, I think we're still picking up from the laptop mic. I think when you unplugged it, Discord defaulted, and OBS just said, "Nope, source is gone."
Okay. Well, as long as you can hear me. Here, hold on a second. I can fix this real fast. Music settings. I sound kind of roomy. Crap. Okay, hold on a second.
We do have technical difficulties.
Yeah, let me.
Or we can just stare at you until you fix them.
Oh, crap.
With tentacles.
I admit I'm listening to the cello metal now in the background during this fight.
Okay, sorry. Oh, no, not beyond the wall. Sorry, everyone, that my audio is going to dip. But yeah, I can't. I think I'd have to shut everything down to get it all to work again. So I'm sorry. That sucks. But as long as you all can all hear me, that's all that matters. I can't remember what the last thing that happened was.
You owe me a skelly dab.
Oh.
That was a normal dab. I redeemed a skelly dab, sir.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Here, I can't find my other skelly hand, so I'll hold a skull.
Oh, no. Oh, that's good.
Also, the monster was dead, and everyone was saved. That's what was going on.
Part. I don't remember
That's
that
right.
part. What the hell's my other skelly hand?
And there was frozen yogurt somehow.
Oh, Froyo.
That
Yeah,
part
it
I
was
remember.
Good stuff. It was like the rare banana flavor. Was a bit.
Emissary made it themselves. It's what they've been brewing while we've been walking through the jungle.
Emissary is like part knowledge robot, part eye devicer, and part ice cream machine.
Yeah. Also, we have canonically established part coffee maker.
Oh, right.
That's
Oh, man,
true. So we
the
can have
mocha ice
coffee
cream
froyo.
probably is amazing.
And there's the double scale.
Okay, so what actually happened? Whose turn was it? Chat, I can trust you. Whose turn was it? I think we were in the middle of Jay's turn.
We had just done the flaming sphere damage,
Okay.
so my turn just ended.
So it's my
Okay,
turn.
so it's
Correct.
Ash's turn.
I got slightly distracted by a video of a cat eating a sausage. Okay.
As you do.
What bard bullshit will I get up to today?
Question.
What weapons do I have? I don't have any weapons. I guess I'll just use Vicious Mockery again.
You have the power of music.
Yes. I believe I do have the power of music. So I'll Vicious Mockery again.
Okay.
Oh, they gotta roll, or they're gonna take some damage.
I rolled another 2.
Yay!
Good to know the crop dice is on both sides of the
Full,
line.
full like riff from the song Thunderstruck, followed by "Fuck you." And that's
Is it a
8 points of
full 8?
damage.
Full 8.
Yep, I got an 8.
Okay, and they have disadvantage on their next attack.
They have disadvantage on the next attack,
Aw.
and you know what? I'm gonna toss another. You want an inspiration or healing word, Mr. Daemon?
Oh, I'll take the healing if you got it. Please.
All right, that's another second level healing word. That is wow. Okay, that's 10 points. That's another 10 points of healing.
Great.
Got some good words.
Good words.
There's nothing else you wanted to do on your turn, right, Jay? Just want to make
There
sure.
was nothing else I could do on my turn, I don't think.
Okay, fair enough.
The 14.
Because I actioned, I bonus actioned, and I moved, so.
Okay. Here we go. Okay.
I like to believe that the healing word part of it was you saying "fuck you" to that guy.
I know.
Fuck you! Not you. You're cool.
Daemon.
Great. Okay. So, I'm going to attack with Eldritch Blast. So my first normal attack is so that I rolled a 3, a 16, and a 17. The 16 and 17 will hit, I believe.
16 hits.
6,
Yep.
So 22 plus, right? Okay, so that is 21 force for both those beams. Two beams, and then the third one missed.
So sorry, wait. How are you getting a third beam?
From the haste.
Haste only lets
The
you
third
use
attack.
the attack action.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that doesn't work. Okay. All right. Well, I am going to. If I can change my weapon into a bow, I will, but I need to look at precisely how to do that and if there's action economy. I can't remember if it's an invocation I have to take or if it's part of the hexblade thing. I need to look at that first to do that quickly. So
Soup,
if you want to move on, and we can.
This is from Soup's book of made up bullshit, and she's played this character.
I
It is.
believe Hexblade is, which means I'm looking through the wrong book because Pact of Blade Warlock is different for some reason.
Yeah, I feel like that might have just been an oversight. When they
Warlock-
realized that Pact of the Blade needed a buff, they used a different method that made things confusing.
So yeah, I can do it. It doesn't. So I think
Okay.
It would be another action.
Yeah, so you'd essentially have to dismiss it, which is a free action. It's like a 0 time action. You can just dismiss it, and then you'd have to reform it, which is an action, which you could do, but then you'd only attack once with it. So like, you're probably better off using the double Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. Right, but then I'm wasting the haste.
You could use the haste to move.
Kind of.
You could hide.
Right. Oh, I could hide. I'll hide. That way I'll get an advantage on my attack next time. So I will attempt to hide with that action.
If you successfully hide.
Yes. That's what I said. I will attempt to hide. And I think a 9 is probably not going to do it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. So the creature will go.
Probably hard to hide when you're flying above people and dripping blood on them.
Oh, that's mine. Sorry, that's mine. Okay, let's see. You kited him. So
Yep.
You can't.
Can try.
I mean, I think it's just gonna chill touch you again.
You can try.
Emissary. Yeah. Let's see. 19.
Nope.
Okay. Yep. It's your turn, Em.
Does an 11 hit?
No, sorry.
Don't think there's anything else useful I can do.
You have inspiration.
I
do
have inspiration.
And an 11 is quite a bit higher than the 3.
In the 3. 15?
Armor class is 16. Sorry.
Dang it.
But you can still ram it with your
Spicy ball.
sphere. Your spicy ball.
Spicy ball.
I will succeed on my save, but
It's a spicy meatball.
Maybe I'm not. I might be doing something else, except it is a pain in the butt to find where this class feat is, and I don't know why.
I cast the Giuseppe's spicy meatball.
Well, we left the pierogies behind, so
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Can I throw a potion to someone as a bonus action, or is that an action?
You just want to who do you want to toss it to? Let me ask that first.
Daemon. I don't
I'm
think
like 60 feet above you.
Yeah, you're
you're 60 feet above me.
kind of far away.
I'd have to crossbow that
You
up
got a
too,
good
and I
arm,
don't
though,
think
I
you'd
bet.
appreciate the delivery method.
Right. I'll catch it. Ugh.
I mean, you might take
Got it.
one point of like
Through my
piercing
hands.
damage, but then you'll heal.
Maybe possibly. Just ram it with the fireball again.
Okay, perfect.
Go ahead.
I rolled a 7. I can't remember if it made the save or not.
It did.
Okay, so it's going to take 3?
Okay.
Round up or down?
Down.
3.
Okay. Okay, and Ash.
All right, I'm going to. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery again.
Sure.
Bard's gonna bard.
Okay, I will succeed that time.
Darn. And because it's a cantrip, it's just no damage.
No damage. Yeah.
So I will then inspire my good buddy Daemon. Excuse me.
Thank you. That's all right. I can use the help.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm tripping on you.
Oh, I didn't know it was raining. Oh, it's not.
It's so sticky. Ooh.
Rain is falling down. It's my Peter Gabriel tribute.
And it is your turn, Daemon.
Right. I'm gonna work the Eldritch Blast. I have well, will a 17 hit?
17 hits.
Great. Okay, so that's 2 hits. So I've got 11 and which becomes a 17. 17, which becomes a 23. So, plus I hit advantage because no, I wasn't hidden. Never mind. 11 points of force.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and hide again with this extraction.
Okay.
And I rolled a 5 because that's all that dripping blood again. Probably.
Okay. Did you move on your last turn to continue?
Let's say yes.
To continue kiting this thing. Okay.
Actually, no. I think I'm still out of its range.
Okay. So it's going to try and chill touch you again. I will roll a natural 20.
Okay, that's gonna hit.
Counterspell then.
Do you want to counterspell it?
I do.
Okay, counterspell. That's good because I was about to get mad at this person's. Yeah, it's counterspelled because it's just a cantrip. I was going to get mad at the person who made their spell block because it doesn't list their caster level. That's important. I know you may not think it's important, but it is. Random person on the internet who made this very impressive document that I've been using. Okay.
Thank you, but how dare you?
Thank you, but also, come on. Okay, well, kind of shrugs all of its creepy little hands.
Nice.
And we'll keep chasing you, but it's not. I mean, it's not doing much. And it is your turn, Em.
Does it take? Oh no.
Yeah, and it'll.
This dice isn't rolling above a 10. I rolled a 5, which was worse than the last thing I rolled, so I am missing with another crossbow.
Okay.
And ramming it with a flaming sphere.
Uh, 12, which I believe fails.
It does. It takes 11 points of fire damage.
Okay. This thing will catch fire and kind of shrivel into a gross little... Not little. It's large, a gross large, flaming pile of gross tentacles and claws and teeth. There we go. Okay.
It's dead?
Oh, it's dead, yep.
Cool.
Kind of
I
twitches.
dismiss my packed weapon and I start applauding above. Descend. Yeah. Slow applause as I descend. Happy joy.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Bunch of
Daemon, come here.
bunch of meters start filling.
Yes. How you doing, Em? You all right?
How hurt are you?
Sorry. Well, you know, about 2/3 dead. You know, don't worry. I'll be all right.
Sit.
Just have a cigarette. Do you have any coffee?
Sit.
Just need a coffee. I'm sitting.
I'm going to use a healer's kit to... How many hit die do you have?
I've got it. I got 6.
Okay,
Can
but
I-
that's
You know, 68.
not great.
Does this work with Song of Rest? I don't know.
6.
Healing? Any healing dice expended should work.
It's if it's a short rest.
Healer's kits work weird in that how they restore hit points. It's a d6 plus 4, plus your total number of hit dice that you have, if I'm reading them right.
Okay. So I have 6 currently.
So you
So
have
D6
6.
plus 10.
So it's d6 plus 10, so heal 11.
Great. That's lovely. Thank you.
His emissary patches you up the old-fashioned way.
I like it. I'm an old-fashioned. Look, like I said, I'll just have a cigarette. And go.
Okay. Now you may have your cigarette.
Thank you. Well, I haven't stopped smoking. I was smoking all that. It's probably
Now
why
you may have your
I
next
shit
cigarette then.
It's the 20s.
Thank you.
Everybody's smoking all the
Yeah,
time.
these are good for you. I'm like lighting one off the other.
Off the
Thank
corpse
you.
of this thing.
Push it out. Right. Push out. Right. Light it off the corpse. Squish out the old one on my hand because I resist fire. Sort of put my hair together. Maybe slick it back with some of the ambient blood still on me. So are we going to go in and look for the stuff, or what do you want to do? Thanks, by the way.
You should
all
let
right?
our guide know that whatever this thing was is dead now.
Is it dead?
Yes.
You can come out now.
Okay. Just kind of comes back out from the jungle, starts reattending to the fire, looks at the monster, and it's just like, no, thank you. Do you all want to take a rest or go inside?
Well,
Maybe
I
a rest would be in order.
yeah
Would
maybe.
prefer that.
Let's do that. And I will burn a couple hit dice to bring myself up to top.
Oh, so sorry. Are you taking
if you
a,
wanna-
a short or long rest? I might have missed that.
Oh,
We
I'm
were
fine
gearing
with a
up
short
to
rest,
take a
but-
long rest
Correct.
before we
Oh, right,
were
Yeah.
that's
screaming shouted at.
Yeah.
all right. Well, great.
Before we
Let's
were
take
get
a
off
rest.
my lawn in deep.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. Perfect.
Great.
I mean, we have destroyed the the creature that we were worried would come attack us while we were taking a long rest. So,
Destroyed a creature.
you're right. There could be more worms.
It's gonna probably be about your guys' problem, because when Im gets back to the camp, like, they're going to pop their staff out of crossbow mode, sit down, and they're just in standby mode. Like, they're very done right now.
Okay. Let's see. We're good. Okay. So rest passes by uneventfully.
Yay.
There are a couple times where it does sound there's this eerie silence in the kind of the clearing of the ziggurat, this ancient fallen city. Jungles are loud, they're full of life, and there is just an awkward, uncomfortable quiet here. And every once in a while, you can hear it just sounds like stone shifting from the ziggurat, like settling, and it's very loud in this uncomfortably quiet clearing. But other than that, nothing else comes to attack you. Nothing else screams at you to get off its lawn and deep. And you all can get a long rest. In the morning, Beacon wakes up nice and early, prepares you all a nice hot breakfast, coffee. She lights her own cigarette on her hair, and kind of smokes it to it's mostly ash, and it's just kind of not you, sorry, dangling from her mouth as she's working.
You notice Ash, by the way, has not bothered to sort of put on a new disguise. They're just kind of
nice.
Thank you kindly.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Is everybody all prepared?
I think so.
Prepared as I think I'll get.
Awesome. This is the first time I haven't done an accent for a character in so long. I've forgotten how it works. So Ash is going to start packing up their things, and take out a stick, basically draw a diagram of a ziggurat, and sort of turn to their party members and go, "All right, how are we going to approach this?"
Well, there's one way in, and we're not particularly subtle.
That's no offense, but speak for yourself.
I'm not particularly subtle.
Okay, look, I wasn't trying to be rude about it. I apologize, but point is, all right. So we head in through the front. Someone's gonna have to check for traps. I'm pretty good at that. I'm sure I can manage to pull something off. Although I'm not quite so good with mechanical stuff. Just kind of hoping you would be, Em.
What is it to find and disable traps again?
To find is investigation. To disable is, I believe, thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools, yes.
Okay, yeah, then that's. I can do that.
Or sleight of hand in the absence of tools, or
Sorry, say that again.
or sleight of hand in the absence of tools, or is it only thieves' tools to disable?
It depends on how intricate a trap is. Some traps can only be disabled with thieves' tools. Other traps, sleight of hand check in lieu of them would work. Depends on how mechanical they are. But thieves' tools would always apply to the check if you wanted it to benefit.
And you get
M's tool proficiencies.
double your proficiency on tool checks. All right, so I will lead the way, checking for traps, and big metal buddy here will and Ash is gonna kind of pat Em on the back.
Clank, clank.
Exactly.
So,
we ready?
sure. So I'm coming in bringing up the rear. Is that what you're saying?
That would be the hope.
Okay, good.
Don't get eaten. I'd be sad.
I would also be very
Fair
sad.
enough.
Voice crack.
I would be sad if I were eaten as well.
Not for very long.
Well, I mean,
Or
eaten
very
alive,
long.
that's one thing. Eaten after the fact,
For the rest of his life, he'd be sad about it.
probably would. You're right. To the end of me days. All right, so it was like 8 in the morning or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's good to get an early start with these kinds of things. You don't want to go right as the sun's going down. So that's good. Go in.
Ash will tighten their suspenders, adjust their press hat, and press onward.
Are you going ahead like sneaky type?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
What do they call that? Scouting, I think.
Yeah, you want to scout ahead?
Right.
Okay. So if you want
A
to
little
make
bit.
a stealth check, you can. Otherwise, give me a check for traps.
I will do stealth first and then check for traps.
Okay.
My stealth is a 17.
Okay. Oh, let me write that down. How do I keep losing pens? There we go.
And my investigation is... let me know when you're ready.
Okay. And investigation was
16.
16. Perfect.
I have a +8 to investigation, so I wasn't really worried about that one. Expertise. What can I
Okay.
say? I'm an investigative reporter.
So you get up the ziggurat. M's flaming sphere did indeed burn away all the difficult terrain. So it's a lot easier to climb up this ziggurat. It's almost like clean, kind of, from years of mold and grime.
Honestly, I'm. This is most successful controlled burn I have ever seen.
It's a real fixer-upper, and you put it closer to marketability. I've got to say.
I don't think we're doing it. Come on, you can't just sell real estate in the middle of a hostile environment like this. That would never work.
There are hostels around here.
The hostel.
There's some joke here about volcano real estate, but it's not coming to my mind.
I can't think of one. Um,
I'm not really interested in it anyways.
So with the 16,
But have you considered?
you find past the entryway a little bit, down this hallway, there is a trap at the first threshold into a larger part of the ziggurat. And you can point it out to Emissary for them to disable with a check.
I will circle it in chalk if I am able. Or, wait a second. I have magic. I'm going to, minor illusion a big arrow.
Okay.
Illuminate it.
Looks like a neon sign.
I prestidigitation it to make it glow a little bit.
Okay. Can I get a Thieves' Tools check, Emissary, please?
As soon as I know how to roll one.
Oh, sure. So let's see.
Just lets me add my proficiency bonus, but I also get to double it because I'm an artificer. But it doesn't tell me which skill I'm using for them. I would assume...
Dexterity.
Okay. B.
Yeah, is there a...
So that's a 27. Neat time to roll a 19.
So, Emissary takes out their Thieves' Tools, clickety-clack, kind of pulls their hands back, and the dart trap, you can hear kind of a thud as like the darts just misfire and won't go off no matter what. So you successfully disable that trap.
This trap that has been functioning for probably 1,000 years or so now does not work.
Let's see. Okay. So past that first doorway, it opens up past this trap into a large square room. 50 by 50. It's big. It's got 16 pillars around the outside perimeter of the room. About 5-10 feet from the wall on each side. Or not. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not 16, 12. 4 along each wall. And then the corners double count. It's fine. There is a obsidian circle inlaid in the center of the room, and this emissary. Can you smell?
We'll say yes.
Okay. I was going to say you have other senses, so everyone picks up this putrid smell coming from what looks like a giant well in the center of the room.
What's the dimensions of the well?
Big. You'd say like 20 by 20. Or like a 20-foot diameter. It's a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are, 20 feet from its edge or something, given the size of the room, roughly, as we walk in?
Yeah, about 20, 30 feet from it.
Perception check to see if it's a dark room, right? Or what's the light level?
It is dark, but everyone can see in the dark because M and Ash have night goggles. But
goggles of night.
yeah, but otherwise
Thank
there
for
is
that.
no light source here. So
Okay.
it's everything is dim light.
I have Devil's Sight, which, to contrast with Dark Vision, allows me to see as normal, as opposed to Shades of Grey. So just throw that in the mix. Is there any sort of magical darkness? Because I'm also able to see in that. No apparent magical.
No apparent magical darkness. No.
Okay. Also, just sidebar. Do you think that flavor-wise, I would be able to detect if I were to discern between normal and magical darkness, given the ability, or would it just be the same to me, and I just wouldn't notice the difference?
No, I think you'd be able to tell that the darkness is magical.
Okay. Cool.
In some manner.
Right. Okay, so a perception check just to look around and see if there's any people hiding or anything looks fishy before we go in. I am batting 1,000. I rolled a natural 4. +3, though. So that almost doubles the roll.
Okay.
To a 7. Okay. Seeing, guys. Oh, I have inspiration still.
You still have inspiration.
I have a D8.
Well,
help.
It's fine.
We'll see.
Just roll it.
+3, guys. So that's a 10.
Okay.
I'm not completely
that's
useless.
Would anyone else like to make a perception check or investigation?
Oh, investigation for sure.
Yeah.
I'm great at those. Sorry, I spaced out a little bit.
I'm better at investigation.
That
16?
is a 17, actually.
17? M?
16.
16. Perfect. Okay. So, Daemon, that smell is just, it's just so unpleasant, and maybe you're not even like, you've been a smoker for a long time, so your sense of smell is kind of dead.
It's
Like,
penetrated through
and it's
that,
penetrated through
right?
the smoker
Oh,
haze that usually, and you're
terrible.
just like, this is gross. This is so gross. So it's a little distracting. So Emissary and Ash, looking around, you continue to see, especially on the pillars, there is a iconography of Jurgle, god of former god of the dead. Now he's the scribe of the dead.
All hail gerbil.
But along the obsidian circle is iconography that you have come to recognize as the iconography of Caius. And if you get anywhere, I'm not gonna trick anyone and say like you look directly into the water and
You age 500
and
years.
you just die, you just evaporate. No, but you can get close enough to the water, and you just with those checks, you can see that there's definitely something moving in the water. It's green too, and you can't tell if that's that one. I would ask if you wanted to learn more. You could get closer, but it seems you can't tell from here if it's covered in algae or moss or the water is just what. But the water is green and very slightly moving.
Can I make a religion check from back here?
Sure, you can try.
I mean, they've worked out pretty well for me so far.
Yeah.
And this one's a 17, so...
Okay. A 17 religion check, you are getting such a bad feeling from that thing. The whole temple is creepy, but the well in particular, something bad happened here. The moving, it does, you would say it could line up with that worm cultist you saw earlier. It could be full of worms. There's still clearly a level of water over the worms, but you think maybe something worm, a big pit of them are moving in there maybe.
Got like a lot of acid that we can just pour down there all at once, maybe.
Okay. I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on myself.
Okay.
And do you have any fire? Do you want to burn that shite?
You could try throwing a lit cigarette in there, see what happens. You probably have one of those.
Yeah, I'm wondering without any sort of accelerant. I think it'll just go fizz pop out. Any oil? I don't think I do. Got ink. I have a little bag of sand. Fucking use this today for that.
You can turn the water into mud.
Make a slurry. It'll impede them. Turn them into cement. I only had concrete powder.
Yeah, if you were fighting Sandman, maybe.
Right, exactly. Okay. I'm going to listen. Any opposition to me attacking it from here? This will be old eldritch blasting.
Crossbow.
You ready? I'm just going to test the waters, and I want to shoot 2 eldritch blasts.
Okay, you're gonna. Okay.
Yeah. You ready for this?
Yep.
Get a
Natural
different
5
D20.
and a natural 1.
Oh my god. Okay.
Somehow I missed a stationary object.
Couldn't hit the broadside of a worm.
Okay.
They roll really well.
So they kind of the Eldritch Blast and was skip over the water like rocks, like just kind of just hit it at weird angles.
Ow.
The water stops moving, and then starts moving a lot. Rising out of the water is this 10-foot tall, imposing black plate mail armor. The visor is up and full of worms. It slams the visor down.
Admittedly, that was an unconventional way of knocking on the door.
Pulls a giant sword out of the little pool.
I tried words, but you pulled out a sword. Okay. Hello.
It will squish at you.
Not a talker, huh?
Yeah.
Slowly raises violin.
Yeah, let's see, hold on. This one can speak common. It says in a very off-putting voice, that once again sounds kind of like many voices speaking at once, tiny voices. They say, what brings you here?
We're looking for a scroll.
And what would you do with the scroll?
Things.
Is Caius ascendant?
I can't tell you, but his cult is currently doing some things, so...
I'd like to figure out what he means by that. Can I roll something for that? Religion, history, arcana. History would be my best bet.
I won't even make you make a check. Just based on the language alone, asking, has Caius risen to godhood? And the answer to that is no. You feel like you'd know that. And the answer is no.
They're working on it.
Yeah, Emissary is just talking to this thing until you guys, figure something out, or these words work, whichever comes first.
The armor, the wormy armor, will ask, are you with the others?
Which others? Because there are a
I'd
lot
like
of
to cover
things
his mouth, and I would like to say, look, we don't have much time. We're here to make sure that scroll is moved to a safe place as soon as possible, because the others have located it, and they don't want to see our great Caius ascend to godhood. And I'd like to roll deception.
Sure.
$26.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
The armor says, yes, others of the cult are here. You'll point above you, and kind of mirrored in the well is a glass circle in the ceiling that it's not a mirror.
That
it is
kind of
it is glass. But it's kind of tinted green, and every time you look at it, you can see mostly your reflection, but you can still see through. And it does look like there's, the tower outside from where you looked at the ziggurat, it goes up like 150 feet above you. And he says that the other cultists are there. If you wish to join them, he can send you to them. The scrolls, if necessary to be moved, are housed above.
We have our uniforms from the cult before, right?
I think you ditched them.
I think we ditched the uniforms, but I think we kept the dagger.
You kept the dagger. You definitely kept the dagger.
Did we keep the masks?
I think we kept the masks, too. I think we just ditched the robes.
All right. Ash will put on the mask.
I'll follow suit.
Pardon me.
Put a mask
Okay.
on too.
Okay, perfect.
Im tries, it doesn't fit.
Yeah, you had a disguise self last time.
Yep.
Well, good news. They don't know that a 7-foot robot knoll was part of the infiltrators who broke into their cult. Okay. The armor.
And I believe Ash was wearing a dress at the time. As opposed
Yeah,
to
you were.
suspenders.
Well, yeah, you were actually, you had taken the shape of one of the cultists. So one of the cultists you knocked out. So.
And we're very flirty, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
So that
Performance.
cultist is busted.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
they were found in a rope trick.
Oh, we threw them under the bus.
Trash can. Okay. The worm armor thing will pick up its sword and slice through the water in a circle around it. And you can see that the water kind of stays parted around the creature. And starts to spiral up to the glass above you. And you can see the glass becomes totally transparent, as if it no longer exists. And he gestures at the rising water as if you were to walk on it.
I mean, that's a thing that Emissary can do, so...
Very tentatively, Ash will kind of poke the water with their foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems remarkably solid.
Cool. All right. And Ash will walk across.
Perfect. Okay. So Ash starts to walk up this impromptu spiral staircase.
I will follow.
Okay.
Yeah, Emissary was already following, too.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, you can fly. I don't know why you're bothering to walk like us peasants.
It's more dramatic if he, uses the staircase.
That's true.
Sorry, I'll have to share some of the art I found for this. It's the dumbest sword I've ever seen.
I'm drawing a dude right now.
Okay, so you walk up. The armor kind of falls apart, clattering back down into the pool, and as soon as you pass through the glass ceiling, the water crashes back down. The area below you was ruined. It was covered in moss and algae, mold, as if it had been exposed to the elements for hundreds of years, because it was. This area, however, is immaculate. Like, dusty, but as if it has been perfectly sealed from weathering for hundreds of years. The room you were in is a simple stone square with a circle of glass in the center of it, and on the outside of the circle of glass is a circle staircase which goes up one floor rather.
Oh. Go up the second staircase.
Okay. You walk up into, let's see. Okay. You walk in to a room that is well lit. Actually, there are ornate bookcases along the outside of this room, and another spiral staircase continuing up. But this looks like kind of like an inner sanctum of sorts. It's actually very similar to the office of the cult that you were in the first episode, where the cult sacrifice was. There's similar iconography on the walls that you remember seeing. They weren't posters because they wouldn't be posters, but kind of that kind of thing, and just hundreds of tomes along the outside of the walls, all of them looking terribly sinister and Cthulhan, eldritch. Perhaps
Too
printed
much
on the
knowledge.
skin of some dead god.
Dead god skin. You don't find that around too much, Really puts Corinthian leather to shame. Well,
And it lasts for a really long time, surprisingly well.
All hail the gods. No, wait. Which god's skin is this? Is this one of the gods we're supposed to like?
where? No, Caius, I don't think he has enough skin. I mean, worms have skin, but
Caius is, a worm god.
yeah. I mean, maybe it's big worm skin or a lot of worm skin sewn up.
It's the worm that
Take
walks.
lots of worms. Right. True.
If you got a bunch of worms, you could stitch them together. I don't want to think about this.
Look, let's focus on the task at hand.
We got to make friends with the cult. Let's look around here. So we're looking for this scroll.
Just act
The
like you
Prince of
belong
Lies.
here.
I do. Are there other cultists around?
There are no other cultists in this.
We're alone in this sort of life.
You're alone in this area, yeah.
Okay. Investigation could be very dangerous. 2 by sanity. I don't have any magic that can help. Gonna have to get mundane. Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Search the room.
Okay.
Natural 20 plus 4.
Okay. With a natural 20, what are you looking for?
Well, it says it's a scroll, so I'm looking for something that is sort of distinct. I mean, you said there's lots of books, so I'm looking for that sort of the right type of the media, and something that has something with the signal of probably Jurgle, because that is what we're looking for, right? For Manchu.
Yes. Okay, so there's
something that pairs some device or something like that, because if there was the other iconography downstairs and on the outside and all of that. So go ahead.
So you find a scroll case, but the scroll is empty. But it matches this iconography. It looks like it has been touched recently, used even. So perhaps someone has taken the scroll from it. There is more to this temple to explore. But you found... So you, with a 20, you're pretty sure this is what held it engraved in it. You can read all writing, which is actually probably bad in this library.
Very.
That's why I was saying dangerous. Look for things in a library.
So you can read that it indeed is the scroll you were looking for. It's just not in this thing. Somebody, first of all, take the case with you. Pardon me, Twitch.
Yeah,
smacking my mic. So there's that. Can I get a wisdom saving throw from you, Daemon? Because you can read all these books.
All right.
Is that a man?
It's a 3.
You really need new dice.
Plus 3. No, plus 3. Well, my last roll was a 20.
Your last roll was a 20, but that was truly the first good roll in a while. Let's see.
Yes, you're right.
And I'm not one to.
I actually have protection from evil and good up.
Oh,
So
then make it with advantage.
Make 6.
Okay.
Twice as well again.
To the prison with that die.
Yeah,
I would stick it in the
The
freezer
other
and
one
then drop
rolled
a
off the
brick
table.
on it. That's what I would do to that die.
So I just rolled a 3 and then a 17 and then a 5 and then a 17. So it's just swingy. And then a 9 and then a 14. So
Because it
make
knows
an
you aren't
excuse.
actually using it right now.
6, 3. No, I'm not actually.
can you roll
17,
a D100 for me, Timothy?
Oh,
yes.
goody.
Come on, guys. What's the fun?
I don't suppose I can
Eldritch
cutting
Horror.
word
It's completely
sanity
bonkers.
damage.
I'm going to
Maybe.
have to hold my
Uh,
friend down, screaming for his sanity, and again, this is why we left Thay.
You don't Faye. 20.
20. Weird. Okay. Your heart starts racing, and you break into a cold sweat as just kind of the enormity of all of the information in this room, and as Marty said in chat, the books can read you here. Like, it just feels like all of the books are
Right.
watching you, and your heart starts racing.
Wait, can I use counter charm? That gives everyone around me advantages on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
I think you have to have probably. I already had advantage on being charmed, and I can't be possessed according to the spell. But
Yeah, it's
by
not.
the
It's not a
forces.
possession, and it's not even a
So,
charm.
I think
really.
I meant
I
to
also
calm him
just
down
respectfully-
afterwards, not to prevent the
Oh, sure.
sanity loss.
Well, you get a bonus
Oh,
actually.
that's great. It would get.
But what?
Because you're so on edge, you have +2 initiative for the rest of the temple.
Wait, what?
I'm
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you said, "Oh, weird."
Yeah,
No, it's
because
all right.
You're
It's
freaking the fuck out, but
hypervigilance.
hey,
they're not.
good on you.
Yeah, they're not always
That's-
bad. I mean, most of them are bad, but
It's like the it's
It's
like
good.
the it's like I don't know.
yeah,
Guys,
I know-
it's really freaky in here for me. I can read everything, and I don't want to. So
You
here's
took
the base.
one too many Ritalin.
I did. It's empty. So I think fuck this place. Get the hell out.
Seconded.
As we know, what we're looking for isn't here. But it was. I think it was taken recently. Maybe we can try and look for tracks and such. I'm gonna close my eyes for a bit and just sort of focus on my breath.
It's
Maybe,
okay.
you
It's
tell
okay.
me,
And I'm
just
gonna play
whisper.
I'm gonna play a
Thank you.
soothing song on my violin.
Okay.
Don't let it get too smoothly. I need to keep focused and vigilant.
Yes. It's gonna end
They're like-
abruptly.
Cold metal hands on Devin's shoulders, just like, you close your eyes. We'll get through here.
That's nice and cool.
Thank you. Appreciate
Emotional
it.
support
I
robot.
appreciate- Cool. It's very soothing, actually.
Okay.
It's well in place.
Okay. So, would you like to continue upstairs?
I think so.
Yes.
This is the first level above, so said all the cultists were up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably using the scroll for some sort of duality.
Okay. So you continue up the stairs, and that is before you get to the next room is where we will end tonight, and we will pick up with the final episode in a month-ish. We'll figure out the exact date.
New Year's
But
Day, right?
yes, yes.
Is this
So
gonna be our Christmas episode?
I mean, that
Be
it
fun.
might be.
An Eldritch
It
Christmas.
might be the closest one to Christmas. We're gonna have to see. But yeah, outros and plugs. Dan.
Hi. I'd like to plug NBA trade rumors. Harden, please don't go to the Nets. I'm begging you. That's all I ask. It'd be really fucking bad to have him, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant all on the same team.
Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay, and I'm here to plug using a healing kit on one of your friends to help calm yourself down instead of mostly just healing them. Also, Black Lives Still Matter. Don't need to plug voting anymore, although next year do vote again.
Mm-hmm.
Now you do all the stuff
Georgia
aside
vote.
from voting, and also wear one
Yeah.
of these.
Also, wear your mask and wash your hands. Don't be racist.
That's all the things. And Timothy.
Thanks for tuning in. I second all of the humanitarian statements, things we have to keep ever present in our minds. Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. Indigenous voices gave us votes, gave us Arizona, arguably.
Okay. Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. Yes. What? Any issues? I have one more thing to plug.
Sure.
Yes. Go ahead, Andy.
No,
please.
you go. You go. It's still your plug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug one thing. I've got a adventure in a Theros third-party thing that's coming out. It's the Odyssey Anthology, Volume 3, in Arixmathy's Clutches. It's coming out in a little bit. This is sort of in advance. It's getting a lot of tweet love and stuff. There's a lot of fun people working on it. The first two volumes are really great. The art in it is principally by two artists. One person doing like landscapes. It's a bunch of islands that you can have adventures of in all four tiers in the setting of Theros. It's fun. Mine is a tier 3 adventure. And the art, again, I can't speak enough good things about. The person doing all the sort of NPCs is really great, and the person doing all the landscapes is really great too. So it's
I
cool.
wonder-
So
Is there a link or something that we can put maybe in the YouTube description or?
not yet. Thanks for that, but maybe it's premature. But it's coming. Just keep your eyes peeled. Be on Team Skilled. Volume 1 and Volume 2 are out. Odyssey Anthology, so you can check that out. That's the end of my pluggishness.
Awesome.
Thank you, Andy. Thanks as ever for running a great game.
I'm glad no one died.
Game close.
Yeah, that blight was no joke. I echo everything everyone said. The work is just beginning for lots of things. The pandemic's still ongoing. And here in America, everything's just getting worse about it. So please, distance.
By the way,
if you can.
congratulations to me on winning the election. I am the 46th president of the United States. My first order is to change the American national slogan to "fuck around and find out," and to just put a giant picture of like a bald eagle eating a cheeseburger on the flag instead of the stars. Also, we're going to turn every Confederate monument exactly 180 degrees, like sticking out of the ground,
Well, upside down.
Yeah. And then we're gonna build like a second monument to all the Union generals that beat them on top of those.
Okay.
Thank you, El Presidente.
Yes. You didn't declare your victory with any here twos or therefores. That's how you know it's legal.
All the people are saying that I won.
Yeah. Please be careful with the pandemic. Wear your mask. Distance when you can. Be safe and smart. Black Lives Matter. Be kind to each other. We love all of you. And enjoy eldritch horrors. Task Force Unlikely on Wednesday. Have a good night, everybody.
See you then.
Tentacles.